Today is Tuesday, April the 23rd. Advancers led the decliners 70% to 25%. The market hit a new high today in the S&P 500, pulled back a little bit, but it's still closed higher than it's ever closed before. So let's take a look. Here's the S&P. Here's our weekly chart that we've been following. We finished, this was the previous high right here, 29.2967. We closed today at 29.3367. So we've closed higher than this high back in September of 2018. So that bodes well for the market. Let's see what happens if it can continue to move up. There's still a ton of earnings for some of the big names to come this week. Apple, it comes next week. Had a great day today. Just a powerful stock. It's broken over the 68.1%. So I've rolled my short puts again now into next week. But that's when earnings are, so the volatility is a little bit high. It's going to get higher, which is going to decrease the value of those puts unless the stock price goes higher. But nonetheless, had to do it. There was just nothing left in the puts that I was holding. They were worth almost 17 cents and 7 cents. So there was no money to be made in them anymore. So I had to roll them into next week. And I've rolled them into 200 and 197.50, I believe. 200, and the other one is, no, both into 200s. I rolled them into 200s because I don't want to be ahead of myself for earnings. Let's see where we end up on Monday afternoon, because Tuesday is earnings. We're going to take a look at Caterpillar now. Caterpillar has earnings tomorrow morning, so I tweeted that I sold some calls on the stock that I hold. I hold 500 shares, so I sold some 140s and some 142s. I think I said I sold 141s and 142s, but I didn't get filled on the 141s, so I ended up filling them on 140s for $4.75, and the 142s I filled for $4. So if the stock goes up, I'll be out on my 142s with the equivalent of 146, and my 140s, I'll be out with the equivalent of 144.75. And if they pull down, of course, I get to keep all of that revenue, which would be a few $1,000s. Intel, flat today. Still got that gap behind it to fill. I'm going to add a new stock today to follow, and that's Whirlpool, who had earnings on Monday and just shot up, but lost it all today. So let's just take a look at, sorry, that's WDC. Let's take a look at Whirlpool. Whirlpool shot up today. Their earnings were after the market closed yesterday, and they lost it pretty much all. They finished up a tiny bit. So they closed yesterday at 139.27, closed today at 139.94, so just a little bit higher. So I see some opportunity here, and here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this trend line from this high to this high, and we touched it today, and we pulled back from that trend line. So that's an important trend line. So I set an alert for when we break that trend line. The price is above the daily cloud. We've got a reverse coming up ahead. The Chiku span is in the clear. So we've got support tomorrow. We could have, support is going to drop. So tomorrow's the Chiku span, it would get support on the ADMA at about 137.11. But the weekly is what I'm looking at, because the weekly topped out not only at this trend line, but exactly at the top of the cloud. And we also had the Chiku span hitting the 200 today and pulling back. So I've set two alerts, one for when the price breaks this flat surface of the weekly cloud, and another for when the Chiku span breaks the 200 moving day average. That's going to be an opportunity to buy, because it's going to be three things happening. It's going to be breaking the trend line, it's going to be breaking the cloud, and it's going to be the 200 is being broken by the Chiku span trailing back here 26 weeks back. So I want to be buying Whirlpool when we see that kind of strength. Whirlpool has a dividend, and it's yielding 3.4%, which is better than putting your money in the bank. And its ex-dividend date is May the 16th. So if we want to get in on this stock, we have an opportunity. I may get into it before it breaks this, but I'll do it by buying the stock and selling some calls. So I'm going to update everybody on that tomorrow. But I really, I was trading Whirlpool some years ago and really liked the stock. My kitchen is full of Whirlpool products. I replace Whirlpool with more Whirlpool KitchenAid. So I just think it's a good product. Home sales are up. The economy is up. People do have a little bit more money to spend, but not as much as they thought they would have. So maybe they won't be buying cars. Maybe they'll be buying appliances. That's all for today.